Hello and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, today we're going to be discussing the state of Punjab and a particular look at what is happening within the Congress over there. They've just announced a new PCC chief, Navjot Singh Sidhu. Of course, that has gone against the captain's wishes. Why is the Congress then trying to jettison its own chief minister? What is the rationale behind promoting Navjot Singh Sidhu? And is this what some people are saying, the Punjab model, going to be replicated in other states where we are seeing a face-off between a chief minister and an heir apparent, like say in Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh? Because, some people are saying that this is actually the siblings' way of asserting themselves. Rahul and Priyanka are very clear that the party has been in the hands of the old guard, whom they see represented by their mother's people. And now it's time for Rahul Gandhi to put his own people in place. Well, there are a whole lot of problems with this argument, which I'm sure my panel is going to be pointing out. But let's go straight into the discussion. Joining me is Rashid Kidwai, Sanjay Jha, Suhail Seth, and Pankaj Vora. Rashid, I saw you smiling when I said that. So you tell me, am I wrong that the siblings want to put their own people in place? But what stopped Rahul Gandhi earlier from putting his people? He tried with Ajay Makhan, that failed. And is the Punjab model going to be replicated in Rajasthan?
I think it was a stamp of Sonia Gandhi. Sonia Gandhi is a consensus person, maximum consultation, Japanese way of making decision making, etc. That worked in UPA 1, UPA 2. But today's situation is changed. And Congress needs some kind of, not exactly, generational change, but a difference of work culture. There's a big difference the way, Sonia functions and the way perhaps Priyanka would like to function or Rahul would function. And this was a major problem from 2014 to 2019 and then till I would say 2021. There's been a problem that, the Sonia model has been working, and there was Ahmed Patel was also there, and he was the one who was sort of controlling everything. Rahul Gandhi tried to be one up on him, but he could not do it. So it looks slightly, bizarre that how, Rahul Gandhi is a Gandhi, son of Sonia Gandhi, how he could not dominate the narrative. But that's what it is. Anyone who knows the internal functioning of Congress could vouch that Rahul could not do. And there was total lack of electoral success. Remember, political authority comes from electoral success. So it was a combination of all these factors. I think what will happen in Punjab, this only we'll get to know when voters give their verdict. We cannot predict here. But on the face of it, it looks like a bold decision, a correct decision to my mind. And every political party needs some kind of fresh blood. Look how BJP tackled Assam, where there was a, Sonowal was not even a very sort of elderly in terms of age. Yet they gave, seat of power to someone who was far more, I would say, aggressive and visible and dominant. So this is a kind of hands-on approach that is required. Congress is late to arrive, but I think as far as Congress party is concerned, that its worst performance is over. Now you will see some kind of improvement in time to come.
But so, both Captain and Sidhu personally also, if I'm, both may be great men, but at the end of the day, there is a difference between a Hemanta and a Sidhu. Sidhu may get the crowds, but he doesn't have any hold within the party. How do you pitch him against a captain?
I think it's a brilliant question. And Rashid Bhai said, when he talked about Assam, but that is where the irony is. So here's the thing. I've known Amrinder and Sidhu now for almost 20 years. Amrinder is the kind of man, if that apology had come or comes, would happily vacate. These people don't realize the kind of man he is. What has happened today is the Assam model is different only because the Congress is hell-bent on creating a victory out of an intestine battle between two people in Punjab. What you're doing is, Priya, you're dividing the party. If you see, the BJP also wrote captains 15 versus Sidhu 62, that kind of stuff. What are you doing? You're dividing a state which was running well. Okay, people say that Amrinder had issues with MLAs and vice versa. But there is nothing that a dialogue cannot settle. You continue to humiliate Amrinder Singh, who's your sitting chief minister. While he's chief minister, and if he goes into the elections under a party president who doesn't talk to him, or both of them don't talk to each other, you tell me what prospects of the party are you actually pinning your hopes on? So it is not, as Rashid said, it is not the Assam model. It is a unique Rahul Gandhi model, which is snatching victory snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory. I have not understood. And, Rashid saying that Sonia Gandhi consensus and all, here it's not about consensus, as you rightly said, Priya, about the Rajasthan situation. It is not about age. There were murmurs and rumors that Kamal Nath might become the president of the Congress. You remember 2 weeks ago. Now, the point is, age has never been an issue. If age was an issue, why would Ashok Gehlot remain when Sachin sounded the bugle of revolt? So I see 3 things happening. Number one, there is an unnecessary intestine battle that has been created in Punjab. Number 2, ironic as it is, Punjab was the worst hit state during the partition, and it is again being partitioned politically by one party on its own. And the third, to my mind, is Rahul Gandhi is not the best intellect available in the Congress. And every time, he himself is the biggest proof of it.
In fact, before the show, Sohail and I were having a chat, and he pointed out the last time that I think Captain and Sidhu met was, as he says, ironically, at the inauguration of the Partition Museum in Punjab.
Yeah, 2017. We were all on stage, and the next day he changed. Look, Sidhu's no one's man. I remember, and he was a very, very dear family friend and friend, Arun Jaitley. Jaitley saved Sidhu from all the legal issues that he was, besotted with. I mean, he was befallen. And Sidhu never once campaigned in Amritsar for Jaitley, nor did Sidhu's wife, who's also Navjot Sidhu. Now, the point is, does the man have no loyalty? If you remember, he touched Sonia Gandhi's feet, seeking blessings after a Congress plenary session where he spoke. He was the inventor of the word Pappu. I'm telling you, Rahul Gandhi's beauty is he loves self-destruction. If he ever had a remote, it would be pointed this way with lasers hitting him in the head. I mean, this is the man who has been disloyal all his life to everyone, to every cause. I'm surprised he ever played cricket because that requires teamwork.
On that line, quickly, Rashid, you wanted to come in before I get the others?
Just one line, Priya. I think this not talking, etc., is inconsequential in politics. Pankaj Bora may vouch for it. You see, in the making of Mughal-e-Azam, and the most, kind of intimate romantic scenes, Madhubala and Dilip Kumar were not in talking terms. So it is performance that matters. Please bear that in mind.
Mughal-e-Azam or Pankaj behind the scenes?
I mean, who's Madhubala and who's Dilip Kumar here? That in itself would be chaotic.
Over to Mr. Pankaj Bora.
Pankaj, you please decipher this conversation.
Well, the thing is that, I have a different perspective on the entire thing. The situation in Punjab today is very similar to the situation which existed in Delhi in 2013. The national media and media based in Delhi, most of people were saying that Sheila Dikshit is invincible. She cannot be defeated. Congress will come back and Congress will be forming the government. All of a sudden, AAP came and Sheila Dikshit was herself defeated. She had the dubious distinction of losing by 26,500 votes, forfeiting her deposit. Similarly, in Punjab today, the captain is the tallest leader. The Delhi press, the national press, has a different, viewpoint on him than what the Jalandhar and the Chandigarh press has. So, what is playing out in Punjab today is like Sheila Dikshit remained chief minister for 15 years. The party got destroyed in the process. In Punjab, in this particular tenure of the captain, the party has totally got destroyed. Ahmed Patel, as a matter of fact, had told me 1 week before he was hospitalized, that they have all the plans to, shift the captain and bring in somebody else, because he himself had volunteered in 2017 that this is his last election. And in the final year, he will, make way and help the high command to discover or, put somebody else in power. And Ahmed Patel had a blueprint, but after Ahmed Patel went away, has passed away, basically Congress does not have anybody who can manage the consequences of an action. Now, what has happened is that in this particular case, the captain was incommunicado so far as the political class was concerned for virtually 4.5 years. The Congress should have taken a call on removing him if they had decided to remove him about a year ago. Now, since they have not, and just close to the election year, they have brought in a person who's totally, allergic to him, and he's allergic to the person. Now, Navjot Sidhu, represents the new generation. Everyone, he's an iconic figure. He's the X factor in Punjab elections. After the Kartarpur Sahib thing, he has managed to also touch a chord with the clergy, which governs the Sikh politics in Punjab. But having said this, so far as he's concerned, he has been raising certain points, certain issues. His main allegation, which was also repeated by Pratap Bajwa and others, was that the captain is hand in glove with Akalis and has not taken any action. Now, for the Congress High Command to sit back and face the Akalis when there's a perception in Punjab that he has been soft on the Akalis, he has not taken action on the Balgari or the sacrilege issue, the Kotkapura thing, on the drug mafia. So, it's very difficult. So they had to bring in somebody who was, adversarial to the Akalis. And in that context, Sidhu has been brought in. Now, the captain and Sidhu are not on talking terms. Now, captain has been able to forgive Khaira, who has come from AAP, who had made all kinds of insinuations against him. He has been able to forgive Pratap Bajwa, who has questioned his policy. Now, why does he want apology from Sidhu? Why can't he also, just move on? Collectively, he will be the face of the Congress. The captain will be. So if the Congress was to win the 2022 elections, there is no doubt in anybody's mind that captain would be the chief minister. This fight is not between Sidhu and captain. It was a fight for the number 2 position, that who will succeed the captain. And that is where Sidhu has positioned himself. And, he has overtaken the likes of Pratap Bajwa, Manpreet Badal, and so many others who were thinking that they will get the chance to, plonk themselves as the number 2. So that is how the situation stands. So let's see how things move on. It's a very dangerous situation to be in, that, the party, as Sohail said, stands divided. It's very, very risky to get into the elections. But then Akalis also are not, in a very heavy position. And
Akali's position in a bit, let's get Sanjay Jha into it. Sanjay, what goes around comes around. If you recall how Captain got his own elevation, was that he staged a revolt against Pratap Singh Bajwa. And now the same thing is happening to him. I'm not so sanguine that I don't agree with Pankaj Vora that Captain will be the chief minister. I have a feeling if the Congress wins, they might just go straight with Sidhu. Nothing is guaranteed in the Congress.
Well, first and foremost, I think all the panelists have made some very valid points. And, I think there's a lot of rationale behind the assumptions that we're making behind the current fracas that has happened. But principally, I think the reason behind the public spat, differences between politicians within a party is nothing abnormal. I believe it's a healthy competition because everyone has aspirations and ambitions, and I don't think one should grudge them that. Now, the principal reason behind the current, shall we say, the ugly manifestations that we have seen, especially with Navjot Singh Sidhu criticizing the captain in fairly sarcastic and sardonic terms, will be because the leadership at the top of the Congress is very weak. In fact, it's vacant. Nobody even knows who's your leader. So always remember that in any organization, if the leadership is perceived to be absent or inert, or frankly, in this case, a complete vacuum, these things are going to surface. And frankly, why Punjab, right? It is happening in Chhattisgarh as we talk. Rajasthan, we all know. The Congress gave away Madhya Pradesh. The Congress lost Karnataka. The Congress gave away Puducherry. So there is a very serial, kind of sequence of the kind of blunders the Congress has made. The second point, I disagree with Rashid when he says that leaders don't have to have conversation. And this Mughal-e-Azam experiment, I don't think cannot apply to politics. And I'll tell you why. Because the old age, archaic way of working, smokes and mirrors, let's keep people in camps, let's use courtiers and all kinds of intermediaries to flood people about which way is the leadership thinking or aligned. I think that style is now outmoded. We got to move on with the times. We can't be on Twitter and Instagram and yet operate in politics as if we are living in some kind of a monarchical political structure. So I think the biggest mistake that the Gandhis have made here, I'm still in touch with a few of them. And I said to them that, listen, you've got to have conversations with people who are at loggerheads. Bring them together, bring the captain and bring Sidhu together. have a conversation, a long 4-hour, 5-hour, whatever it takes, over lassi or beer, whatever it suits people. Thrash it out. Ask Sidhu what will placate him. Ask the captain where probably he needs to, kind of buck up. I agree with both Mr. Kidwai and Mr. Vora that, it's not as if Punjab is a guaranteed victory for the Congress. There is an underperformance issue there as well, although the captain remains a powerful political brand. This should have been sorted in that manner. And my third point, I don't want to get into specifics. There are a lot of specifics we can get into. Historically, the Congress has been terrible in troubleshooting. The approach of the Congress, I think Suhail and Pankaj and Mr. Kidwai will agree with me. The Congress never nips a problem in the bud the way BJP does very often. BJP can be ruthless. The Congress allows a problem to escalate and balloon, hoping for some miraculous solution to happen on its own without the leadership intervening. In the day of modern media, somebody will talk, somebody will tweet. It will, in fact, become embarrassing. I think there are lessons for the Congress here. Hopefully, better late than never.
Yeah, in fact, we can just take the example of how the BJP handled the Yogi problem versus how the Sidhu problem has been allowed to fester. But after a quick break. Hello and welcome back to NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. We are here discussing the Punjab problem, at least from the Congress party's point of view. Rashid, before let's take a larger look at the message from the Sidhu's elevation. Will this model be replicated in Rajasthan? I have my doubts because, we saw when Sachin Pilot came to Delhi, he also said that I spoke to Priyanka, I spoke to her on the phone, I've been assured or something. But we only got Sachin camp version of it. There was no tweet from Priyanka, there was no photograph. Here we had Priyanka herself releasing a photograph of Sidhu. So clearly there is a difference in the way they are throwing the weight behind Sidhu vis-a-vis the way they are backing Pilot.
Yeah, this brings us to the Priyanka question, some exaggerated, sometimes understated, entity of the, the Congress leadership. Here, she is a person, she's quite dynamic, she's very candid, she's very open about things. If she has made some promises that she had made to Sidhu, she made it sure to implement it. There was a, photograph from this Sujan Singh Park residence where Sidhu was there. This doesn't happen normally in Congress culture. I think Rajasthan is very much on our agenda and it's next. And why I'm saying it? Because the Chief Minister, like Mr. Pankaj Vora was saying, the Chief Minister of Rajasthan is also behaving in a very, ostrich-like manner. He is not visible. He's saying that, his brother and his, sister-in-law had COVID. So doctor has advised him, 2 months of bed rest. I mean, this is bizarre. Apparently, he's not even talking to, the AICC General Secretary in charge of the state. The High Command needs to assert itself. I know that when Congress is out of power, there is no High Command. In fact, High Command becomes absolutely defunct. There is a total dependency model of, the kind of chief ministers mobilize resources for state elections, etc. Not only in their state, but everywhere. The running cost of Congress organization, etc. has to be taken care of chief minister. But then that doesn't mean the chief minister can belittle, chief minister can disregard. Remember, the assurance that peace formula was not between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. It was between Sachin Pilot and Priyanka Gandhi, to be precise, and Mr. Ahmed Patel was privy to it. So it is Priyanka Gandhi's responsibility to implement it. If she doesn't implement it, she will cut a sorry figure. So the Congress High Command ka iqbal hai, that is at stake. I know there is a delay because there is, the elections are not in sight. But let me tell you, within 6 months, you will see a big change in Rajasthan as well.
Do you agree with this, that this Sidhu effect will be replicated in other states, especially Rajasthan? Let's focus on Rajasthan. Suhail.
I don't know. I think both are very, very different. As Pankaj rightly said, here is an issue which is coupled between underperformance and disconnected from the masses. Or that's what, Pankaj said. I'm not privy to that. And to be honest, I don't know. My whole thing is, what is the approach that a mature political party needs to take? It needs to solve a problem at times of its own creation. There is only a postponement of the problem. So it's operation successful, patient dead. That's what you're going to see in Punjab. You're not going to see any solutions. A, B, you're at the cusp of an election which is going to be bloodied, bruising, and very torturous because of the individuals and the parties involved. Here, if the principal ruling party in itself is divided and does not have cohesiveness, what kind of an electoral front are you going to put together? You're going to cause voter confusion. You're going to cause cadre confusion, and you're going to cause media confusion.
Pankaj, your take on what will happen in Rajasthan? You think the same Sidhu model will follow there?
No, I do not think so. You know, this Punjab case is a very specific case, and in Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot is much more in command than, you know, and does not face any real challenge from Sachin Pilot as such. Sachin is an upcoming leader. There's no doubt. He's a very good organizer. He has a great future. But, you know, last time he had bungled, and once you fail in a kind of a political coup, it's very difficult to, make a comeback. Had Sidhu been also denied his place, he would have been finished. He would have had no future in the Congress. So, Rajasthan and Congress and Punjab cannot be compared. Sidhu is, come up here as a representative of the Gandhi siblings, who gave him more than 3 hours collectively or 4 hours collectively. They denied, appointment to the captain. The captain also could not meet Sonia Gandhi. So he was, badly humiliated in the last 3 visits he made to Delhi. So it is very difficult for, him to make a comeback now. And, he is losing ground. And it'll be, and if these numbers which are being, flaunted, 62 in favor of Sidhu and 15 or 16 in favor of the captain, they tell their own story. In Congress, whoever gets the patronage of the high command, gets a lot of things. And it's the election year. So, people are also worried that the high command is the one which is going to decide the tickets. So they are going to, go with whatever the high command says right now. They may revoke later once they lose. But right now, the tickets are more important for them. And they also know that in the last 4.5 years, the captain has given all the goodies and this thing to former servicemen, ex-army or this thing, and to bureaucrats. The political, the spoils have not been, shared with the political elements. So there is resentment at the district level, at the block level. And in Rajasthan, there is no such thing. Ashok Gehlot is very firmly in control and enjoys the patronage of Sonia Gandhi. Sonia Gandhi could not do anything here because her siblings, her children were at their prestige was at stake. So she went along with them. So this is how situation is.
Sanjay, I have a different question for you. What do you make of Ajay Makhan's retweet? He's retweeted, I think, Sidhu, if I'm not wrong, saying that, whenever the Congress wins is actually because of Sonia, but we have party leaders, regional stalwarts who take all the credit. Like when he mentioned Gehlot, Amrinder, I think, and Sheila Dikshit. Sheila Dikshit to uska apna personal grouse hoga. But he also said that when the party loses, you blame Rahul Gandhi. How do you react to a statement like that?
Well, Priya, to be honest, only Ajay can answer that question. And I would rather kind of comment on what I think Rashid was saying. Now, Rashid said that when the Congress is down and out, there is no high command, and that I think is the fundamental problem with the Congress. You see, when you lose is the time when the leadership has to be most visible, active, because you are the challenger. You are the one under threat of extinction. You have a monstrous, powerful entity in Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah. And I think that abdication or that, abandonment of responsibility that has been visible since 2014 has damaged the Congress in some states irretrievably, like West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar. So, at a time when you are in opposition, you need to be fighting hard, which is why I keep saying the Congress is a terrible opposition. It should take lessons on how an opposition party should be from the BJP. I mean, you see, you got to learn from your competitors. I have complete humility, Priya, in saying that actually you become a better player in whatever space you're in if you watch your competition, learn from them. You can't have any ego about it, okay? I learn from everyone. On this show, listening to Sohail, Rashid Bhai, Pankaj, and you, there are threads that you learn. If I were to do another debate on Punjab, I can take a talking point from what has been said here. I mean, you got to evolve, right? It's a process. We are all learning every day. My second point will be that, listen, the problem is far from over. This is basically a diktat from the top, and there is going to be simmering discontent, if I can use that cliche. The fact of the matter is, they still haven't buried the hatchet. So the big challenge for the Congress party still remains unresolved. Get the people together. Can you imagine? You have the captain's team saying he never asked for an apology. Now you have Navjot Singh Sidhu with 62 MLAs. You know, if I was not in politics, I would say these are a bunch of kids. I mean, this is like watching a kindergarten bunch of school kids, you know, grumpy because somebody batted first and I had to bowl. I mean, it's childish, it's infantile. You know, to be honest, it's political immaturity of the highest order. I think, therefore, absolutely, this is the time for the leadership to get them together, even now, and say, listen, this is the formula we have evolved, but we know you are not probably happy either way, but this is going to be the way forward. Please deliver on, we want 100 seats in the next assembly, or else there will be consequences. I would like the Gandhis to now call Navjot Singh Sidhu and say, you got your way, I want 80 seats, I want these regions to be won by you. Deliver, or else we are going to have a fresh look at your role after the elections are over. Can we talk that language, please? It's got to be only performance. And therefore, my last point, on Rajasthan, I differ with Pankaj to a great extent. I believe Sachin Pilot was instrumental in the Congress victory. He's not just a friend of mine, but I know how much he worked for those 5 years when Mr. Gehlot was missing from the scene of action. And don't forget, under Mr. Gehlot, the Congress was at its lowest ever at around 20 odd seats. You have Sachin Pilot. Come on, you know, we say young. I think a young guy is in his 20s. Sachin is already middle-aged. He's about 40. And he's a bright guy. He's a wonderful guy. I would have invested in him, actually made him chief minister a long time ago, the first time around. Now, he's won you the election, and Mr. Gehlot becomes the chief minister for the third time. Third time. I mean, you know, to be honest, these are bizarre decisions by the Congress leadership. I'm sorry to say that.
On that note, just when Sanjay was turning a supporter of the decisions, he's turned again bizarre. We've had, in fact, 3 Punjabis on the panel. Pankaj is just his camera switched off. But Suhail, I'd asked you to think of another name for Mughal Azam. I was thinking, kya bolenge isko? Punjab de Azam kya? Can you think of a title for the drama?
Sohni Mahiwal, I think.
I genuinely believe it's Devdas gone wrong. Earlier, there was a romance between Navjot and Amrinder. They were very close, very fond of each other. Today, that romance has soured. But the point is that you have the option of making it a memorable tragedy or a very forgettable one. The way the Congress is going, people will remember this, that this is, they were in self-destruct mode and they partitioned the Congress in Punjab themselves.
He's shaking his head. We've got that shake for the record. But thank you all for joining this conversation and also for watching this show. We'll see you again soon. Knowing the Congress, they're going to give us a lot more opportunities.